What's up, the Respectfully Wrong community? How y'all doing? So, welcome to the actual official first episode of the Respectfully Wrong. So, from our pilot, we got a lot of feedback saying, "Hey, man, y'all got to turn this into a podcast. We really want this to happen. Would you agree?"
Yes.
And so, with that being said, we actually are making this official.
Yep.
This is the first official episode of the Respectfully Wrong.
Yeah.
Now, what is the Respectfully Wrong going to be doing? We basically be covering a lot of different things, you know what I'm saying, but really tackling it from a marriage perspective.
Yeah.
You know, what does our appropriate community looks like? If you're married, you know, maybe millennials, parent, you know, running a business, you know, God fearing, you're our community.
Yeah.
Because those are the things that we'll be covering through our episodes. Now, for these next series, right, we got a series that's going to come out. In this series, we're really going to tackle the 5 to 6 most things that people struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if you do a Google search of what's the biggest things that people struggle with in relationships, we're going to cover those issues. So today, we're going to be tackling communication.
Yes.
Communication is key. It's a big one. And a lot of times, a lot of relationships struggle because the lack of communication.
Yeah.
So with that being said, man, let's get this thing started. You ready, man?
Let's do it.
So, normal fashion, I got some questions printed out for us. Okay?
Yes.
Came with some questions, and what we're going to do is we're going to do some icebreaker questions first.
Okay.
So we're going to start it out slow and then warm it up from there. So the first question I got for you is this. When we first started dating, what was the most annoying thing about how I communicated?
The most annoying thing about how you communicated
Mm-hmm.
was your avoidance. Your, like I would require something or I would ask something and it would be like either like a nonchalant response or kind of just like I ain't really got nothing for you, bro. So I ain't really gonna like say too much.
Right.
Yeah, you weren't like divulging and open at that time in the beginning. It was just kind of like I was hitting a wall. I'll say that, like I was hitting a wall.
So would you say it was vulnerable? I wasn't vulnerable with you. Would you say that's the case, or
yeah, not vulnerable. You were emotionally available, but there could have. I see there's levels to it, so it could have been more, but it definitely was like once you start the conversation, like it was a dead end road. Like we weren't going back down the street, we weren't revisiting it anymore. Like that was it, and that was just very frustrating because I felt like we just weren't getting a resolve or like a true understanding. So
okay, all right.
What about you?
For me, most annoying thing. I feel that how you communicated everything through emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Like
no logic
at all. It
Not
was
a piece of logic.
It was just straight emotion. I'm like, bro, we gotta feel everything. Like we gotta care about everything. Like what is going on here? Like why is it that it's a beautiful day outside? I know it's been so great. I love it. Like bro, chill out. But especially when we were having like issues, just the emotions that came with it. From where I started, I have a wide range of emotional intelligence, so that was just a lot for me, and it used to annoy me. Cause I'm like, why everything gotta be the world is falling apart? Like every single thing in the world is falling apart.
Everything is so scary.
Yeah, that was crazy for me. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
You stuck that ride out though, but yeah.
Hey. So let's get to this next question, right?
Okay.
What's one thing I say during a disagreement that instantly shuts you down?
Cool. When you hit me with the cool and you do that and you be like, cool, I already know, like, we ain't going back. It's over. And when you do that, I get into my shell because I'm like, I don't know how to break through to this guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like I'm meeting resistance. So kind of going back to the first question, I feel like I'm meeting resistance. And I don't have the tools because all I got is emotion. I don't have any logic. So I'm just like, it just made me shut down and go into a shell. And I'm not a shelled person.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Uh, I mean, let's talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Right. So for me, me saying, all right, cool, like it somewhat is an end of a conversation because it's like a pause.
Definitely, yeah.
It's like a pause. All right, bro.
It ain't a pause. It is a period.
It's like, all right, bro. I'm done with this. Like,
yes.
you tripping? All right, cool. That's how you feel. That no problem. No problem. We'll move on today.
We ain't got no understanding. Don't nobody. Ain't neither one of us. We're not hearing each other. Like, it just ended.
Yes. One of those agree to disagree statements.
I did not like agree to disagree. I used to not like that because I'm like, how do you find peace in that? But anyways, we'll talk about that later.
Right. Okay.
We'll talk about that later.
So on my side, instantly shut me down. For me, it's not so much a word or something you say.
Yeah.
It's your delivery. Okay. So like a combination of your tone and facial expressions. So like, if we're having a disagreement, like your tone and facial expressions can come off very aggressive. And so for me, it's like, hey, bro, what's up? You know, we about to scrap. You know, we about to square up. Like, what's going on?
It's the independent woman.
Yeah. Okay.
She be trying to.
I feel you. You know what I'm saying? But you know, you got tamed. That's why you're here.
Wow.
But anywho, you know what I'm saying? I say all that to say, right? So for example, you know, even if something like is what, like, what? Could you repeat that? But like, what? Like, you like, what? Like, what's up? You trying to, you know what I'm saying? So the aggressiveness and the tone, it instantly shuts me down because I can't go to that next level with you. Like, it's not, as a man, like, I can't go to the next level. Yeah. And, you know what I'm saying? Legally, morally, all of that stuff, right? It just ain't happening. Right. So, yeah, definitely. So that's something that kind of instantly shuts me down in a conversation.
Definitely. I can definitely see that because nobody wants to be met with aggression.
Right.
Nobody wants to be met with aggression. Nobody wants to even respond to, especially not in a relationship, because I think we both have been there and it doesn't end the way that you truly want it to end. Right. So yeah. Okay. I can understand that.
Right. Hopefully. So, all right, so we got some little small icebreaker questions out the way.
Okay. So those are good.
Let's get into some real life stories.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so now we're gonna start going into the box, y'all. So hopefully y'all can see some of the craziness that we've dealt with in our relationship. What's one fight or communication we can laugh at now, but at the time it was not funny?
That time I locked you out the house. Why did I do that?
You gotta tell a story now.
Okay, so I have some defenses that I want to lay down.
No. Don't sound like defenses. Sound like excuses. To
try to justify my irrational behavior.
Right.
I was 6 or 7 months pregnant.
Don't think it was that much.
I was so pregnant.
Right.
And we already kind of discussed, the audience is knowing that younger Vincenta was very emotionally, you were emotionally unavailable. I was emotionally
too available.
Underdeveloped.
Okay, got you.
Emotionally underdeveloped. I had all the emotions. I felt the thing, but I didn't know how to channel that in the correct way to get the results that I wanted.
Got you.
Okay. So all of that to say, we were riding around that day. Tim had to get his car serviced that day. And then I went to drop. We were having a disagreement about something, and we weren't getting weren't getting on the same page. I don't even remember what the argument was about.
Yeah, it wasn't necessary.
And because we're at this time we're pregnant with baby number 2, and so I go to drop him back off to get his car, and I go home, and then I call him thinking like, why is he like not right behind me? You know what I'm saying? And so I'm calling, and his phone's going to voicemail, and I'm like, oh, then the crazy starts to formulate, right? And no rational thoughts, no like nothing. I could not pull one rational thought. I didn't even think to even go rational or logical or like understanding or give great, none of that. It just went left. I'm like, oh, so now he trying to play me. Da 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 da. It's 20, 26, 25, 26 around this time too. Yeah. Still very young. Okay, guys. Accept my defenses. Okay? Right. Accept my defenses.
That's exactly what it
is. So I take it upon myself to take my car, park it diagonal.
Block the whole driveway. Can't pull it.
And then I changed the code to our alarm system because we like never have had a key ever, no matter where we stay.
Most of the time it's the code.
Always have a code.
But don't try to come in a house because, you know what I'm saying, we believe in God and guns.
Yes.
And you break into this house,
Second
you're going to meet both.
Is highly exercised. But I knew my rights. Oh, sorry. Anyways, focus. So, I changed the code and I'm like, oh, he ain't gonna be able to get in the house. He ain't gonna get in the drive. Like thinking I'm doing something. What I was doing, don't have a clue. But thinking I'm doing something, I'm gonna hurt you and get you before you can, because you're trying to hurt me and get me. Meanwhile, the man is out taking his real estate exam. And he aced it. I mean, you almost like got 100. Like, I mean, a high score. I don't even know if it's scored like that, but I remember you did extremely well on the exam.
Right.
And so he coming home, he's feeling all great, and then he can't get in the driveway. I'm still pissed. You know what I'm saying? Because now it's dark.
This is my celebration, y'all. This
was his celebration. This is what he walked into. So, and he finally gets in the house. Cause he calls me from outside. He's like, "What? Like, what's up? Like, I can't get in the house. I can't park. Why you park like this? Da da da." And I'm going off and da da da. Still trying to prove my point. So loud and wrong.
You know.
So loud and wrong. And what hit me was when you got in the house and you were like, you know, I would never lock you out of your own home.
Yeah.
And I felt like.
Is she shrinking?
Yes, this is me shrinking, guys. Okay. But sound effects too. Like the little Space Jam dudes in when they shrunk the Space Jam.
Space Jam dudes that was in Space Jam. Yeah.
The aliens.
Yeah.
That was me.
Got you.
That was me. I felt like a piece of cow manure.
I'll say for me on my side, like I said, it was a shock. Like we had a little argument before that.
Yeah.
And I'm completely over it.
Yeah. You probably hit me with a cool.
Yeah. Cool. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'll see you later. That was it. I was done. So I'm off. You know what I'm saying? I got a test to pass. You know, trying to get this real estate.
We never discussed the test even before. Like totally. Forgot about the test.
Yeah, we talked. She knew I had to do all this stuff. So, all right, cool. I'll come home. You know, try to pull in the driveway. Like she said, park. I'm like, why is she parked like this? So I try calling her. She don't answer the phone. All right, bet. So I park on the side of the road. I go to put the code in the door. And like I said, we ain't got no key, so I'm pushing the code. Like, I know I got the right code. Yeah. It keeps saying, do. I'm like, all right. All right. So I ring the doorbell. I hear Vincenza moving around in there. Okay, I hear her moving around, but she's not coming to the door. So I'm standing outside for a good 2 to 3 minutes, ringing the doorbell. Like, all right. Now this is when I'm starting to get upset. Because I'm like, okay, she done changed the locks. Oh, she think this a game. So she think this a game. You think
Ooh, so glad that we can laugh about this now.
So when I get in the house, I'm like, what are you doing? She starts going off. Like she started going off like, oh, you ain't gonna answer the phone. I'm like, bro, I was taking my exam. And I don't know if y'all ever took like any like, you know, state certifications or stuff like that. We gotta go to the test center.
Yeah.
They basically take your phone. You gotta turn it off. They put it in a locker. They scan you down. It's like going through TSA. Okay, they scan you down. You gotta lift up your shirt.
Take your rings, jewelry,
watches, earrings.
Everything.
They check your glasses, make sure you ain't cheating. No. Everything, bro. They make sure you're not getting no technology in here that ain't supposed to be in here. So okay, bet. So again, when I came out, and I don't think she left no voicemail. So you don't really get missed calls when your phone is turned off. Yeah. So like I said, I'm coming home. I'm excited. I'm like, I don't pass. Boom, boom, boom. Come on, it is. And then when she got in there, I was like, yo, like, I would never lock you out your house. Like, even though we having a spat or an issue or a fight, like, I would never lock you out. Like, I wouldn't do that to you. And I was like, and then the other side to it was this. This is when I, because I don't do a whole bunch of yelling. I make statements. Mm-hmm. And they're for true statements. Let's just say.
Your statements sound like yelling.
So, truth, I was like, you ever lock me out of my house again? Yeah. We're going to have a real issue. Yeah. Just keeping it a band with you, bro. If you ever lock me out again, we gonna have a serious issue. You didn't even have to. By
the point where you said that I would never lock you out of your home, like I felt something, like a hurt. Like, how dare you go that far? So anything after you said after that I was already like,
yeah.
I was already like. It's a TMS.
Talk about a miscommunication, right?
But yes, we can laugh about it.
we can laugh about it. It was funny. It wasn't funny at the time.
Yeah,
but it
we can laugh about it now.
Definitely was funny.
That was crazy.
All right. So, on my side, I really don't have a for sure story where it's like, oh man, it was a serious. Besides that one, I think that's one of our biggest stories that we had.
I can remember.
Yeah, because me, I'm over it. Like once we talk about it and get to it, it's done. I don't forgot about half the stuff we're going through. So let's move on to the next question. Okay, I'll answer this question. I'll answer the question. I'll answer it first, and I'll let you answer it next. Okay. So the question is: have you ever felt like I wasn't hearing you? And what did you do? What did that moment teach you about us? So a point that I felt that you wasn't hearing me. Mm-hmm. I want to say, all right, so for example, Vincenta, learn love languages, right? So Vincenta love language, her main one is words of affirmation. She loves hearing that, she looks good, she's beautiful, well, she deserves it, right? Mm-hmm. So we struggled really bad in the beginning with that because I came from a household where we didn't do a lot of words of affirmation. We didn't do a lot of like building people up. We just joked around all the time. So
mostly talking crap.
Yeah. That's our words of affirmation.
Yeah.
Like, damn, you think about what you want today before you got the house? Words of affirmation.
That's my way of telling you, hey, you should probably put something else.
Yeah, hell yeah. But anywho,
make better decisions.
Anywho. Or dang, who you trying to impress? That's how you look good. You look good. That's
you look good. Like you can just say that. Yeah.
Who you trying to impress? You got a job interview today?
Yeah. Ain't had no job in 10 years.
Well, anyway. So to that point where I wasn't feeling heard. So I started actively working on it. And it got to the point where I was giving the words of affirmation on a frequent basis. But Vincenta wasn't able to receive it. And I'll let her speak on why she wasn't really able to receive it at that time period. But I'll say that it was frustrating for me because I'm like, okay, I'm giving you these words of affirmation, but I think it's your mindset that's keeping you from being able to hear the words. And so it was a time period there where she always would accuse me of, well, you never give me words of affirmation. You never give me words of affirmation. And I'm like, yes, I am. I'm giving it to you. And so that was a time that I really felt that I wasn't heard. And what did it teach us, or what did I get from it? Sometimes you got to communicate to your partner in multiple different ways. You can't just give them what the problem is every single way, every single time the same way. So I had to find other ways to help her understand that, I'm giving you words of affirmation. You're just not hearing them. Mm-hmm. And I think that also helped our relationship to get to the next level because it's like, okay, now we got to find different ways to communicate.
Definitely thought when you said that you was like copping out.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would upset me. I'd be like, what do you mean? Like, why are you even worried about what I'm giving to myself? Like, I'm asking you, I need this from you. But as I develop myself, continue to work on myself more, I came to a realization that whatever you want from somebody else, especially your spouse, because y'all are together like almost every day,
right,
or every day. And I said almost because some people are truckers or they travel for work or whatever, but you're together all the time. You're doing life together. So if you want something from them, you have to be giving yourself that, or you have to be that, whatever it may be that you're asking for them. And so, just at my kind of self discovery journey, that's when I realized, like, okay, if I want these things for my husband, um, I have to be giving them to myself, or I have to um, be that, whatever I want him to be. And so, in that's when I started actually giving myself words of affirmation. The things that I love to receive, I started allowing myself to receive it from myself. Hopefully that makes sense. But nonetheless, once I started doing that, I felt like I could hear it more because the language was not foreign to me. I could pick up the language more because now I'm hearing those things for myself in here, and through my verbiage. Then I'm like, oh, you did say that.
Yeah.
That was nice. That was sweet. And so that did kind of help. But at the beginning when he used to say that, I used to be like,
because on your side, you felt not heard.
Yes,
that
definitely.
I need words of affirmation.
Yeah, I had gave up at one point. I gave up even asking you for it because I'm like, okay, he just doesn't care. He just doesn't care to even I'm like, you need to buy a book to show words of affirmation. Like, I don't even see you watching no videos. Like, I don't see. I'm so focused on what he's not doing and not focused about how I can get better at all. Was not worried about it.
Yeah, I think you bring up a key point there too. Like, a lot of times we get so focused on our partner, what they're not doing, what they could be doing better.
Yes.
Why are they not doing what it needs to do that I need? But we don't even realize, okay, well, what can I do better to help myself? What can I do better to help redirect them to give me the things that I really want? Yeah. And so instead of focusing on them, focus on us first.
Yeah, especially if you're feeling unheard, that's something you have to check. I believe you have to check first. It's like, okay, I'm asking this of this person, but have I accomplished that?
Got you.
Have I done it to myself? Because sometimes we don't feel heard because we haven't done that self-reflection. I feel like everything starts with self-reflection.
Yeah. And
now, the other person may be tripping, y'all, so I'm not saying that it gives them an out. What I'm saying is that's where you can start, because then when you start within, then you can start addressing, like, okay, what's really going on? Instead of, like, when you hyper focus on what they're not doing, that's all you pay attention to.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no progress. There's no understanding. Nobody's going to feel hurt. Everybody's feeling frustrated. Like, you're giving effort. I can't receive it. I'm requiring effort. I can't hear it. Like, you're just in a spinning cycle of crap and frustration. So that's where it starts.
I see a lot of times too. Again, just to not trying to beat a dead horse here.
Yeah.
But like, people require things of people that they don't give themselves.
Oh yeah.
So for example, like, we don't have that. Like, okay, I'm not a big words of affirmation person. I really don't care what you got to say. I know I'm
like in receiving it.
Yeah, receiving it, right? So I say all that to say, like, for example, some people will want words of affirmation but don't give words of affirmation.
Okay.
They'll want physical touch but don't give physical touch. True. So like they'll want these things, but the other partner may like it. So for example, you did give, even though I'm not a big person of words of affirmation, you still gave me words of affirmation. That's one thing I can say. So you did give, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of you wanting as well.
Yeah.
Now I think some people don't even give what they want. So it's just like a take type scenario.
Yeah, that's dangerous.
Yeah. That's dangerous. So again, evaluate your relationship and evaluate yourself. Really look at like, all right, am I doing the things that I really want? What could I be doing better? Relationships is a us thing, but it's two individuals growing to get better.
What's up, everybody? My name is Tim Bentu.
I'm Vincenta Bentu.
And we are the co-founders of Epic Legacy.
Yes.
And what we do here at Epic Legacy is we are money coaches. And what that literally means is we help people set up financial plans.
Absolutely.
How we get this done is we educate our clients, because we feel like if you know better, you do better. We help you with the accountability to not only just get the knowledge, but apply the knowledge.
Yep.
We show you how to protect your family and set your family up, that whether you there or not, that you are taken care of. And lastly, we show you how to set yourself up for the future. I'm pretty sure you're seeing a lot of today that people are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. They don't know when they're going to be able to retire. We help solve those issues for you. So with one-on-one coaching, group coaching, we make sure that it happens and that our clients have the success path for the future. And so with that being said, again, Tim Bentu,
Vincenta Bentu,
and we are Epic Legacy.
All right, so back to it. So let's move on to the next question.
Okay.
When do you feel like we communicate best, and what's going on in those moments?
I feel like when we communicated, I think that question would have been great if it was like what started the launch of our best communication. But when do we best communicate? I feel like we best communicate when we're not, of course, like when we're not frustrated.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we've been doing better with that communicating while frustrated. Breathing and realizing like, okay, adding flames to the fire is not gonna help us. So like, let's pull back and take a second.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's when we best communicate, and when the vulnerability is there. Like, okay, if we're like really having a hard day, like we're maybe on 3%. We can be open about that and talk about the struggle. So yeah, just like the true vulnerability of it is when we best communicate.
Because I think what this question addresses is like basically how can people communicate on a day-to-day basis. So for example, like it's saying like when we communicate the best, like what's going on in those time periods, or how do we pretty much navigate continuous communication. And you brought up some good points on, what I'm saying, because especially if you're a parent, you're trying to run a business, what I'm saying, you got family issues, your parents sick, like a whole life.
Yeah.
Life be life, and you still have to find ways to communicate with your partner.
Yes, you do.
I'll say on my side, I feel that we communicate best when it's, to be
I
honest.
I already know what you're gonna say.
We communicate best when it's orgasms in play. Okay.
I already knew what you were going to say.
First thing, what I say, and I'm not saying it's all about sex. So I feel like you can have multiple different type of orgasms, right? So first, let's talk about sex. I know, for example, when you get pent up, you snappy. You quit to, the kids can look at you wrong. You go, hey, what you looking at? Like you ready to scrap. After you had that moment. After you let all that pent up aggression go.
Yes.
You just walk around all, hey, how everybody doing? Hope everybody doing well. Oh my God. It is so beautiful today. The sun is shining. The rabbits are.
Stop it.
Like, you all over. Like, you happy. Like I told you, pent up.
Oh my God.
But I say all that to say, I don't feel that only when we having sexual orgasms that the communication is best. I feel like also to like emotional orgasms.
Yes, and that's what I mean by the vulnerability. Like we can have great sex and we can have sex, but we also can turn around and have hard conversations.
Yeah.
When you put that together, once we continue to knock down the barriers of having hard conversations, even when we didn't want to, but they were necessary. You're working your way, I feel like, to euphoria.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I mean, again, we're both big God-fearing people.
Yes.
And I think, this may be taboo, but spiritual orgasms as well.
Yes.
Like when you
say that?
I really feel like you can say spiritual orgasms.
We gotta talk to God about that. What do you think people are having when they're having a shower? I guess when you think about it, somebody look up, what's the definition of orgasm? Is it specific to sex, or is it just like a release of tension or a release of something? We're gonna look that up.
It's euphoria. It's
euphoria. Okay.
And so I think that when you just firing on all cylinders, and even when you're not firing on all cylinders, if you at least firing on a good 2 to 3, and you can keep those 2 to 3 strong, that it helps you get through those trying times, because it's not always going to be perfect.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be perfect. So you got to find a way to, all right, if I got you unpent up physically, unpent up emotionally, you know what I'm saying, mentally, spiritually, like, okay, cool. Now we can travel through that.
Yeah.
So I think that's a problem, because I think a lot of people have day-to-day arguments and they trying to figure out, okay, or day-to-day miscommunications.
Yes.
How do we communicate through this?
Yes.
And what does it look like?
And what's the root?
Right. And we definitely gonna get into that.
Yeah, what's the root?
Because next thing we're gonna talk about is self-reflection. Okay, I know
it'll change your life.
That's taboo for a lot of people, because a lot of people don't like to look and see, am I the problem? I don't think we ever.
They like to look outward instead of inward.
They the problem. What you already talked about? They the problem. It's not me. So you need to go fix them.
Mm-hmm.
Is it just them, or is it you two?
Yeah.
Right.
And kind of a common denominator here.
Yeah, there we go. So, all right, so let's get into this. What did you learn about communication growing up, and how has it helped or hurt us?
That's a little question. What did I learn about communication growing up? I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still trying to figure out where the origins of how I chose to communicate when I was aware, when I wasn't aware, and now as I'm aware. I guess now is through my choices.
Yeah.
I made the decision to want to communicate better and work on it every day. But the origins, like the irrational behavior, I've always been very loving, like naturally want to lift people up, and but when it comes to our marriage, how to communicate with my spouse, I honestly don't know where that came from, because my parents divorced around like when I was 5 or 6. So after that, I lived with my mom for a little bit. Then I lived with my grandparents, who are married for what, like 60, 50, 70 years.
What you want for breakfast?
Yeah. My brother would be like, that don't worth some never. I don't know if you can say that on YouTube. You have to bleep that out. But, like that was their marriage. They weren't like loving on each other. It was just two people who decided to stay together.
Mm-hmm. But they loved each other, of course.
Yeah, I guess I knew my grandfather actually did love my grandma when we had them an anniversary party.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we asked him like what made him stay with her or something like that all these years, and he was like, well, I knew if I went and got me another woman, they have to be like her, so I just may go on and stay here. So I was like, oh, okay, he actually does care for her.
Oh man, answer that.
Now, mind you, they've been together at that point like over 6 years, and in my young mind, I'm like, oh, there's some love there for sure.
Yeah.
I just didn't see my idea of what I thought it should be expressed like, I guess you could say. But I would say their communication was more avoidant. I'm not a avoidant person. Maybe that's why I'm so against avoidance, because I know how it could turn out in the end when you do become avoidant. You just keep going through the routine.
You brought something to my attention, and I actually heard this today. So I can't remember where I heard it, but someone was telling me like, all right, boom, it was one of the videos I was watching. It was basically saying that people seek what they lack. So, for example, you lacked people having healthy communication, being able to talk back and forth, stuff like that. You witness a lot of avoidance. So you strive for toxicity. So you strive to, no, we got to talk. We got to talk right now. I don't want to avoid this. I don't want to put no pin in it. I want to talk about it right now.
Yeah.
So through what you seen growing up, maybe that's what helped develop your communication, because you're seeking what you lack growing up.
Never thought about it like that.
Just came to him, bro. Just the Lord right there. Just, there you go. Put it to it. Drop into it real quick.
Rico razzle dazzle. Thank you, God. We appreciate you.
Yeah.
But that could definitely be it, because I knew what I didn't want my life to look like.
Right.
I knew I didn't want just a marriage where we kind of just, well, we ain't going to the left or the right, so we're just gonna stick it. No, I decided a thriving marriage, and I knew I didn't know, but I figured, like, let me try it this way, because the way I saw it didn't work. So if I try to just express everything, maybe some greatness could come out of that, but yeah, that, I'm still trying to figure that out. I say all that to say still trying to figure out where I got my communication skills. I mean, my dad's a DJ.
Yeah.
He is a communications in his professional life. So maybe that is a little bit of it too as well. But like I said, my parents divorced. I saw them kind of fight a little bit when my mom had got remarried with her husband at the time, and my dad, and like I remember his friends coming outside one night, and it was gonna jump on bro. My mom was like, hey, let's not do this, because I'm sitting right there in the front, like witnessing all of this. So I can still see that in my mind, and so but I know my parents, when it came to communication about disciplining me, and my mom letting my dad know what's going on with me, they were always on the same page, even though my dad had got remarried and my mom.
The parenting discipline.
Yeah.
Like that communication.
Definitely. So there's a lot of pockets. There's a lot of pockets there. A lot of different influences. So I mean, that's kind of my background. I don't really know if that's like I haven't figured that out for myself yet. So I'm still on that journey.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
If I can answer the question, I know for me, it's kind of the opposite. So, for example, my parents, it's not that I don't even see it as, well, it is avoidant. It is kind of what we never really took things serious. It's
like, oh Lord, the sky's on fire. A little warm, but it'll pass through.
Put a little extra sunscreen on. You all right? Like,
that's low key, like a little bit fake, right?
we never had hard conversations. We never, we just brushed over things.
Yeah.
Like for again, bro, that happened. Okay, great, but that's been 20, 30 years ago. Get over it. And I think unfortunately, a lot of people in our community kind of suffer with that too, like that avoidant communication, like not handling serious problems, or people are still affected by things that happened to them when they was younger, or you did something to me, but you don't want to talk about
it. And I see that. If I can add, I see that in your dad, like from when I first met him to seeing his growth now. I don't know how it was, but I saw how he talked a lot about his childhood and how those things were still affecting him in his behavior. And so that's why I'm afraid to brush anything over, because I don't want. I'm like, let's dump it all out.
Yeah.
Even if we're dumping a little bit more than we need to, like, you know what I'm saying? But I saw that in your dad, even though you guys were more on the avoidance side, but I saw him like going through things, making choices based on what happened to him before.
Yeah. And
so I'm afraid of that. Yeah.
Well, I'll say it kind of hurt us and helped us at the same time. Or some things get hurt. So hurt us because again, you don't like avoidance.
Yeah.
You don't like we ain't brushing over this. We need to talk about it, handle it, this and the third. But also too, I think on the other side to it is how it helped us is that I have a good sense to just let stuff go.
Yes. And that was a problem for me.
Yeah, like
letting things go. Yes, you do. You do. Very good
for
at that.
me, I can be like, when I say, all right, cool, I'm done. Like I have.
There you go with that cool, y'all.
Listen, But it's my way of telling you, like, I'm good. Like, I'm cool. We good now. I said what I needed to say, and it's over and done with. We dropped it. It's over.
Yeah.
You know, so I think that's one thing that I think people struggle with is not being able to let go.
Mm-hmm.
They always holding on to something. And again, some things do have to be talked about. Some things do have to be communicated. But sometimes you don't get that pleasure, or you don't get that chance to do that.
I think that holds a lot of people back, especially marriage. Especially in marriage.
So say if somebody did something to you and then they passed away.
Yeah.
And you never got that closure.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that you have to find it within yourself that even though you can't communicate it and talk it through with that person, find some way to communicate it through with yourself and to let it go. Because that's when you don't let it go, it holds a lot of power over you, and they hold all the power.
And you know, I didn't learn that until that time we got our first massage. You remember that lady? She was the massage therapist I had. She was like, I don't know what you're doing, but like I feel the tension, like leaving your back. Like you gotta do some yoga, you gotta do something, because she didn't necessarily say like you're holding on to all these things,
right.
But that was when it started clicking in my head. Like I'm holding on to a lot of stuff.
I need to let go.
Yeah, and even though I am typically an over communicator, I would hold on to things, especially if I feel like you hurt me.
Mm-hmm. I'm
gonna try to hurt you, or I'm gonna walk around and be like, you
so
you hurt me. Yeah, you. Like, oh, you
lips
hurt.
Poked out.
Yeah, you hurt me. So
chin
like,
all in the air,
you're beneath me now, or I want you to feel like you don't have access to me, or whatever type of crazy stuff that can conjure up in my brain.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like you hit the head on the hammer. Nail on the head.
The hammer on the head.
Yeah, I don't know how you always mess that up, but you got me messing it up. But nail on the head, bro. Just crazy stuff you came up with.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's tackle this next question. Okay. So the next question is, what's something you had to unlearn in how you talk to
me? Unlearn in how I talk to you. Could you answer that question, please?
Okay. Go first. All right. So what's something I had to unlearn when talking to you? I think that with our communication, I had to unlearn that the way you.
I wanted you to answer for me.
Oh, I don't answer for myself.
Okay, go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to answer for you.
I know, but I wanted to hear you say it. But okay, go ahead.
One thing I had to unlearn was the way you communicated, like with so much emotion and not so much logic. I had to unlearn that was the wrong way to communicate. I felt that we can't get nothing resolved with all this emotions. Because again, I don't have a wide range of emotions. I'm just not built that way. Yeah. Some dudes do, but I'm not that guy. Yeah. So when you was coming to me with all these emotions, I'm like, this is not the way to communicate. And so I had to unlearn that, it's only one way to communicate. And I think a lot of people miss that it's more than one way to communicate. And just because somebody communicates differently than you doesn't mean that it's wrong.
That's good.
So that's one of the things that I had to unlearn. How about you?
I will admit that I had to unlearn tones. I had to unlearn tones and how I communicate with you, because I'll say something or I'll address something, but like a lot of times I'm already accusing you of doing whatever I'm trying to communicate about, right? Instead of actually just coming to it like, hey, I observed this, or I feel this, what's your thoughts? Have you thought about it? Do you feel like you're doing this?
Right.
Definitely had to unlearn accusatory language and tone.
I can definitely.
That's what I wanted you to say.
But again, I don't know. I didn't know if that was the biggest thing you had to unlearn. Cause
I feel like it was because for a while you were like, like, why are you talking to me like that? Like, why are you not just, why don't you just like ask? And I'm like what? Like how? Because I'm already like on the defense. I'm ready to
square up
to fight, and because I think that's what it's gonna take for us to get understanding, and it really don't take all of that.
Well, okay, well, she 0 to 100, 0 to 100. Like, all right, let's go, let's box.
Not anymore.
Not physically boxing. We don't physical altercations, but just verbal boxing.
Yeah.
I think okay. So in that aspect, to kind of expound on you, what you were saying, in that time, it did make me feel like you was the judge, the jury, and the executioner. Like you already knew the answer before you gave it to me. So it was like, okay, you're interrogating me instead of just asking me a question.
Yeah, that's what used to be like. That's what you used to say. I'm interrogating you.
Like, cause it was like, if it really, I don't know if y'all seen, what was the name of watching the movie? Menace to Society. Where they had bruh in the dang on, in the room with the dang on light on his face. Like, you effed up, right? You know that. That's how she used to talk to me. Like, bro, like, well, what's going on?
And you be confused.
Like, what
don't
you
have a clue.
You didn't even ask me a question yet. What you telling me I'm already
half the stuff I just made up in my head for real.
Yeah, I agree. I definitely agree with that. I think we're on the same page.
But yeah, that I had to unlearn that. I'm pretty sure there's some other things I'm trying to think, but that's what came to mind when you asked the question.
That's a big one. That's a big one. That I think that people have to realize again that communication is some things you have to self-reflect on. Like we have said it before, but you got to realize, all right, maybe I'm doing something to trigger my partner. Mm-hmm. Maybe I'm doing something.
I'm doing something to trigger myself.
Right.
So I'm taking it out on my partner, or I'm addressing it with them, and it's really an internal thing. Sometimes it's not even them. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it's something deep inside. So sometimes it is them. I'm not saying that it's never not them.
And don't take that as an out. Like, I'm the one of them sometimes.
Yeah, don't take that as an out. You gotta evaluate the full situation and see, is it you or is it really them? Right. But if it's you, truly be accountable for that. Don't just put it all on them.
That was a good one.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. All right, so let's go to this next one. What would you say is your communication strength and your weakness?
My strength is that I don't have a problem communicating, and I don't have a problem having hard conversations. I'm not really, even if it's nerve-wracking, like I'll still walk through the fire scared. I'll still like, okay, and I got something I need to say. Can we do this now?
Right.
I'm not gonna really hold on to it, or like let me get to it later now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna address it, good or bad.
Yeah.
And then my weakness is definitely, I'm not always the best at giving people their time. I'm a let's communicate right now person, and there some people are like, well, more so like you in our marriage, you're more so like, okay, give me a second.
Yeah.
So that's something I still have to work on. If we can't solve it right then, because I feel like if we don't solve it right then it's like just hanging over us, and like how can we move forward? But sometimes you need to slow down so you can get like true wisdom, understanding, and you can approach it with logic.
Right.
So
it's some logic. It don't always have to
logic.
Be
it don't always have to always
pure
make
logic,
sense. Yeah, but like
some,
so you don't blow, so it doesn't blow out of proportion, and then y'all get into a whole nother argument that could have just been avoided if you just took a second.
That's what's up. What's up. Okay. All right. I see you, big dog. I see you.
Therapy.
I say, for me, strength analogies.
Yes, so good at those.
I'm great at analogies. Like
so good at those.
If I'm like the Michael Jordan of analogies.
Yeah.
Like, and again, I ain't trying to toot my own horn.
No,
but I'm
you
really
should toot
good
your
at it.
horn. Yes.
Like, it's like,
it's a skill.
It's a talent. It's just a
talent.
Like,
yeah.
Even like helping people with trainings and helping understand information, stuff like that, like analogies play a big part. And I think that was one of the things that helped our communication as well. We just giving you different examples or analogies to help you understand where I was coming from. Because, again, one way communication or trying to communicate one way don't always work.
Correct.
And sometimes people still can't see the picture that you're painting if you're only painting with one color.
Exactly.
So sometimes you need multiple colors. Weakness, I'm getting better. I think for me is communicating with emotions. Like that's my thing. I still struggle with understanding all this emotions that people have.
Like even to this day?
Again, I feel like I've got more emotional intelligence and I'm kind of understanding where a lot of this stuff coming from. But I still struggle with why people communicate with all this emotion. That's I think the part right there. It's like the why. Okay, you feel in a certain type of way. Go take a breather. Go take a breath. Like, why now try to attack this and address it with all its emotions and like, what is this? What is it like? What is this coming from? Like, so that the weakness is again being able to communicate through a person that has a whole bunch of emotions at one time. Because still today, if I'm sitting when talking to a person, they start crying. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I know,
and I be wanting you to hug. I'm like, hug me, like, and you got better. Sometimes you'll hug, but sometimes you'll be like.
It's still very weird. Still very weird. Like, what we crying for? What's going on here? You crying? Or what I'm supposed to do with my hands?
It's all going
to. Don't know what's going on here. Well, okay, cool. So, all right. So we talked about some strengths, some weaknesses. So let's talk about tools and takeaways.
Okay.
So now let's give the people some tools that they can utilize and some takeaways from this episode that they can take with them to basically start to implement within a relationship to help them with their communication.
Something just came to mind too, but go ahead and lead us in.
No issue. First question. I already know we're going to go with this, but we're going to ask you a question. What is a phrase or a habit we use now that really help us when things get tense?
I want us to get a phrase. Like, you know how Kevin Hart did his stand-up and he was like, pineapples, when it's like,
too much.
It's too much. I want us to get a phrase. We don't have a phrase yet.
A safe word. We need safe words.
Yeah, we need. Oh my God. No. But,
it's too much. Safe word. What's a safe word?
Ask me the rest of the question outside of the phrase part. Because we don't have a phrase yet.
Or habit we use now that really help us when things get tense.
Okay, habit. I feel like a habit that we do now when things get tense, and it's something you started unintentionally, was recognizing, like, hey, I see you're a little frustrated, but like, you okay? You working through it? Okay, I see you working through it. Kudos, that's great. So just let me know once you're ready to talk. Kind of like that, like the acknowledgement, like I see the frustration, not requiring you to get out of it, just know I'm here.
Right.
Pretty much. I think we should continue to do that because when you did that, that started to shift my whole energy around.
So give a little bit more of an example for people that may not understand exactly what you're saying.
So I'll give the scenario.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay, so we were coming back from the beach. We went to the beach to celebrate our youngest daughter's birthday. And I think it was just a moment of like, it was a lot moving on. The kids were in the back. We're coming off a trip and the kids are like on 1,000. I was trying to change Vania's diaper and she was like doing the most, like falling all, and it just got a moment of overstimulation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Moms, when we get overstimulated, we can kind of just go to another place of frustration and like, okay, I could just go sit in the corner away from all of y'all right now.
True.
And it was my mood had completely changed before because we were fine. We was rolling. We was having a good time. We had just stopped at the gas station. Like we were chilling. And in that moment where I was like really, really, really frustrated, borderline kind of felt a little angry, you just looked over and you were just like, "You okay? I see you frustrated. Oh, you're working through it. That's really good. Like, I'm here." And then you just left it at that. I was like, "Who is this man?" I was like, he's acknowledging my emotions. He's still giving a solution, still solution oriented, because my husband is solution oriented through and through. We are not gonna sit and harness on no problem. We're just not gonna do it.
No.
So still solution oriented, but with care. Like it was tender, it was sweet, it was thoughtful. And so I feel like that's a habit we should keep going. But even before that, it's definitely gotten to a point now when we are working through frustration where it is, we'll kind of just be quiet. Just be quiet. Just know that trust the other person's working through it, and that, we'll recalibrate in a few. And it's typically been same day.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
I was going to just add to what you're saying, because sometimes I think we take personal when a person needs to take a moment.
Yeah.
Because in that example, it had nothing to do with me. You weren't angry at me. You really weren't even angry with the family. You just was overwhelmed. It was like a lot going on at the time.
Yeah.
So you got frustrated. So it was more like, all right, okay, cool. Well, let me give you your space.
Yeah.
So you can calm down, get yourself together, and then you can reconvene with us when you done took some root sides.
Yeah.
Right?
Brought myself back together.
And I think people take it personal when a person may need to take a break.
Yeah.
Or they may feel that, well, shoot, what you need a break for? I need a break. You know what I'm saying? This and the third.
Yeah.
Some think like they
tit for tat. It's so selfish.
Yeah. So that's, but again,
we had to learn that too.
Yeah. That's one thing too. So I'll say on my side, just kind of talking a little bit like a habit that we have that we developed over time is putting a pen in conversations. Mm-hmm. Like, again, I do not feel that people can communicate when it's overly emotional. Yeah. When it's overly, like, it's too much going on. We both, like, heated. Is this and the third?
Like,
we're talking
grounding
at people and not to the person. Yeah. We both feel like we're right, and we bump heads. Like, sometimes
now we're just hurting each other.
Right. Yeah. And so I think that in that time period, we need to put pause in the play. And let's just talk about it once everybody cool down. Let's talk about it again later. Yeah. Again, it don't have to be. Some people don't like going to sleep mad at each other, which is a good tool. But some people may need to sleep on it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, let's tackle this in the morning. Yeah. Because it's just God willing, right? But it's more of when tensions are very high. It's hard for everybody to concentrate on what the other person's saying. Yeah. Because communication is a two-way street. Yeah. And when you're upset, you're shutting. Like, for example, when we used to argue or yell or debate, right? Whatever. We never really yell. Would be you couldn't hear what I was saying because you already had what you thought was true. Mm-hmm. Vice versa.
That's good.
When hearing the thing you were saying because I already felt the way I felt was true. Yeah. Because again, it was the heat of the moment. So when we actually took that pause and that break and I had time to self-reflect and think about it, I'm like, all right, cool. Let me at least hear her point of view and see where it's at. Yeah. So, okay, cool. So, all right, let's take us to this next question. And I'll answer the question. I'll just ask out loud. Yeah. All right, so what advice would you give to a couple that argues often and feels like they're not hearing each other?
Got it.
Right?
You probably gonna say the same thing. Yeah. But go ahead.
Okay. So it's two parts to it. And I don't know if I say one, you probably gonna say the other one.
P and E.
Right? We're gonna get to it. I don't know what P and E is. But however.
It's gonna come to you in a second.
No, okay, cool. One of the things that one of our married couples taught us, and shout out to the Bowsers. Life with the Bowsers. Life with the Bowsers. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook. All of them,
Instagram and TikTok.
Yeah,
Life with the Bowsers, BOWSER.
Yes, and they taught us something that they had learned. It was more of this is what you said, and this is what I heard. Yeah. So for example, I say something to Vincent, and she'll say, "All right, this is what you said," and this is what I heard. I think a lot of times miscommunications happen because people heard something different from what the person said. And so when they arguing, I think even for us, I may have said something, but through self-reflection, you heard something completely different from what I said.
Facts.
So it was more of a like, I think that's my phone.
Don't do anything. Just keep going.
I'm just good.
Okay.
1,
2, 3.
It was more of like yeah, you said this, but I heard you say I want ish, right? You just told me I want ish. And I'm like, that's not what I said.
Facts.
So
not at all.
I'm sitting here like arguing a point of what I actually said, but ain't what you heard. And so I didn't attack the roots of the issue.
So now you arguing with me and
you trying to figure out like how you gonna argue with me and you call me a piece of ish.
Right. It's just a mess.
You wrong. And so through doing that, we're able to understand when we say certain things that this is what the person actually hears. So maybe we need to rephrase what we're saying.
Yeah.
And again, it circle back to you have to communicate in multiple different ways. You can't communicate one way because one way a person hears a certain thing. Whether that's due to their upbringing, their mindset, whatever the situation is. You got to communicate in multiple different ways.
Cannot be a one-trick pony in marriage.
Cannot.
No.
All right. So what about you?
I was going to say pride and ego.
Pride and ego. All right, P and E.
Yeah, P and E.
Okay.
P and E. And it brings me back to one of the questions earlier. That I think it was like when you feel like you best communicate. And I said something about like what started the era of us accelerating our communication was when we dropped the pride and ego.
Yes.
That would be like my number 2 advice is pride and ego. To release it and define what that looks like for you and your spouse, because pride and ego is what keeps a lot of arguments going, and it gets in the way of you implementing wisdom and getting understanding of each other and growing. And
to try to expound on that point, because I'm going to tell a story.
Okay. And then I'm going to tell y'all my number 1 suggestion.
And so, so what happened was we was on a business trip, right? We was on a business trip in Orlando, Florida, and we was our team, and we call ourselves like, again, we just having a conversation. You know, we in the middle about to go to the beach, all this stuff like that. So we call ourselves having a conversation off the side of the team. So we sit over there, we done got, so yeah, we not yelling. We're keeping it still civil, but we so caught up in our conversation, we don't realize that the whole team done came back and just sitting there and watching like, they gonna be all right? Like, is mom and dad breaking up?
And it was what's happening?
It was like, oh, dang, everybody back. And so it was like, okay, cool. But that also, a little bit of tension from us caused a little tension with other people too. Like, you know,
energy is strong.
Energy. So another married couple that got into it. Stuff like, it was, again, nothing too deep, but just little tips. So that night, we actually went to the restaurant. It was just me and her, just kind of take a breather, and we took a walk. It was like, yo, like what we're doing is not working. You know, it's something that's killing us. And so we came up together like, okay, what we got to do is we got to drop like our pride and our ego. And when we say that, we're not saying that, okay, you need to get on all fours and start begging or some stuff like that. That's not the case of what we're saying.
Bark like a dog.
Stop. Anyway,
sorry. Too much to go.
But in that aspect of, okay, I'm not going to admit that I'm wrong because I'm always right. You know, that pride, that ego of, you know, I'm too good to admit that I'm wrong. Or, you know, I'm never wrong. I said that's not there. So
keep you away from accountability.
It pushes you to always feel that you're right.
And now you have no vulnerability in your relationship, and each person is always going to keep feeling unfulfilled, and each person is going to continue to feel frustrated. Each person is going to continue to feel like they're not being heard. As long as you keep holding on to it, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
If you want a healthy marriage.
It's not worth it. And I feel that that's what a lot of people struggle with. They're too prideful. They're too prideful to be vulnerable. They're too prideful to ask for help. Or they're too prideful to say, yo, what you did hurt me. You know what I'm saying? That's a big one there. Like, they're too prideful to admit that they are vulnerable and that they feel a certain type of way. And then, you know what I'm saying, again, that ego kick in, like, who are you to tear me down? Or who are you to, you know what I'm saying? You can't hurt me. This is in the third. And so they sit here and play these games in their head, even though their actions just showing something different.
Yeah.
They think they are, and it's not the case.
And at the end of the day, we really just want, like, just love, that warmth from each other. That's really what you really want. So you're fighting to try to get to that. But when the pride and the ego continues to get in the way, it's
a lot at one time.
It's a lot.
A lot at one time. So you said you got one more other thing that you wanted to.
Oh, two. I said number 1, P&E. Okay. Number 1 is God. Where does God fall in your marriage if you don't have him at the center? I personally just don't know how well that's going to work out, and whatever that means for you. But yeah, like you got to get on one accord about God and where he is in your life, and knowing that he is the source of your marriage. God gave you a special thing when he gave you marriage, the thought of becoming a wife, the thought of becoming a husband and wanting to support and lead a family, women being helpmates. Like, God gave us a special thing, so you really have to know where he is, not only within you personally, that's critical too, but where he is in your marriage. Because it's like building a house with no foundation. You're not even going to be able to build a house. Yeah. And with him, the house can be like so beautiful, so big, so lavish, so like incredible with him. But I can't attest to not having him in the middle. So, and I feel like a lot of our relationship, we didn't have him. And so there was a lot of chaos and discord and misunderstandings and ego and pride and all of these things. And then once we dropped that pride, it wasn't perfect like next day. We just, it was practice over time. And once we did that and started to implement it, it only continues to get better. It's never perfect because we're always changing, we're always evolving, but it just continues to get better. And we owe that to God.
I want to expound on it a little bit too, right? Because some people may have individualship with God.
Yes.
And I want to kind of help people understand that y'all have to have a relationship together with God. Like, you know, we're still practicing like praying together.
We're still working on it.
You know what I'm saying?
But we know
praising with you together, all of that stuff like that. Like, you know, y'all have to do things with God together. Because that's going to help, you know, take your relationship to the next level. When y'all both can be on one accord with that.
Yes. And so number 1, God in the center and in your own hearts. Know him for yourself.
Right.
Number 2, P&E. P&E stands for
pride and ego.
Y'all learning something. Yes. Pride and ego. Drop it like a bad habit.
Right.
And number 3, therapy.
The big T word.
Yes. Therapy changed everything.
Yeah. I would say this, you know.
Or it was a factor in changing everything.
It was. And especially when you're talking about people that you argue all the time. You argue all the time and you feel like the other person's not hearing you.
Feels like there's always a little bit of tension there.
What therapy does is, a therapist to me or a counselor is more like a translator.
Yes.
Because I think that a lot of times, like, for example, I felt that I was speaking Spanish and you were speaking French.
Yeah.
Right? Or German or some other stuff like that, right? And
we don't have a clue.
We neither one of us know what's going on. I ain't about to try to translate. I can't understand what you're saying. You can't understand what I'm saying. And so we're just throwing hands, right? Just talking. We weren't hearing. And so when a counselor sit down with you, a therapist sit down, it's more of a not saying who's right, who's wrong. It's more of helping you understand what the other person is saying.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, if you argue all the time, you just got a whole bunch of misunderstandings. Y'all arguing over. A lot of times, it's toothpaste arguments. That's one thing we learned from therapy.
Ours was the dishwasher. Yeah. No, it was the toothpaste. It was both.
But toothpaste arguments is more like they're insignificant.
Insignificant. Yeah.
Insignificant arguments. Yeah. Like it's nothing. You arguing about the toothpaste cover. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, for real, we did have an argument about toothpaste. I don't know about y'all.
And the dishes.
I like, I was taught that when you use your toothpaste, you pull all the toothpaste to the bottom. That's how you keep it going. For her, you just squeeze it wherever you can squeeze it. It's just toothpaste all over the place.
Never thought about it.
And so again, I'm a very systematic person. So
it's a great system. It makes sense, but
insignificant. But it was an argument, and I'm pretty sure
got these kids trying to get out of the house.
It's a bunch of people that's arguing about little silly stuff, and it's just because of miscommunication, like not understanding the person.
Mm-hmm.
So really want to take this time to give a shout out to Erica. Erica was our counselor that definitely helped us out. We will always suggest her when it comes to counseling and things like that for people, because again, it was more of a she just basically helped us develop the tools to communicate with each other
that we still use to this day
and understand each other's language. That's all it is. It's just understanding when you're arguing all the time, you can't be arguing about, serious stuff all the time. It doesn't happen.
Mm-hmm.
It may be serious to you, in your head, like this is life ending. But a lot of times
everything was life ending to me.
A lot of times, a lot of times it's different little small things.
Yeah.
And I will say this. What therapy does, and it's the last thing we can say on therapy when we move on. What therapy does, I think it helps us get to the root of the problem. When you are arguing all the time, you're arguing about little insignificant things because you haven't tackled the root. And you can't change the fruit until you change the root.
Oh, that'll preach.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
that's the collection plate, honey.
A lot of times people are arguing about the surface stuff and they ain't got to the root of the issue. And again, that's what therapy does for you to help you get to that root. Yeah. So, okay. All right, cool. I think we dropped some nuggets on them. Dropped some nuggets on them on that one.
That was cool.
Let's do this. What's one thing we started doing that helped us grow past the arguing and into understanding?
That was the pride and ego.
Pride and ego.
When we dropped it, that was one of the best decisions we could have ever made.
Mm-hmm. I think one thing
us.
I think one thing too, the pride and ego, yes, pride and ego helped elevate it, but I think originally where it started for us to get to where we are now, to help us grow past the argument, was that we both made the decision that, okay, either we gonna give it our all to try to make this work, you know what I'm saying, or we gonna separate.
Yeah.
And because it was to a point where it was like, okay, because this was my thought pattern. I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this thing 100%. I'm gonna give this thing 100%. I'm gonna try to do everything I can in this relationship because I don't want nobody to say, well, I didn't give them my all. I didn't try. And I focus more on me giving my 100% and not focusing on if you were going to give your 100%. I knew if I gave my 100% and you didn't, then okay, it fall on you.
Yeah.
That's your, so that kind of gets to your issue. Like you wasn't doing your everything, but you can't say I didn't do it. And I think when people actually focus and make the decision that, okay, I'm going to give this my all. Okay, if it don't work out, it don't work out. But at least I have no regrets.
Yeah.
Because I gave it my all. And it just didn't work out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I think once we kind of made that decision, like through therapy and stuff like that, like, all right, we're going to really just give this a shot and try to make this thing happen. Or really just, be more personal, meaning like the problems internally and fixing our own personal problems and stop focusing on the other person and just make sure we're doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's true.
So
when you do that, everything starts to change because your perspective shifts.
Yeah.
And I feel like where you focus and where your energy is at, that's what will start to reflect if you have the right partner.
Yeah. And, because at the end of the day, you have to decide, like, is this worth it? Is this relationship worth it for me?
Yeah.
And because if you really want the relationship, then we got to fix this communication because communication is the center of everything. And so if you really want it, it's easier to drop that pride and ego so that you could get to where you really want to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's there. So, all right, cool. We're wrapping up.
Okay.
We're wrapping up. We got a couple of questions here that we're going to wrap up and go from there. So first one is finish this sentence. I feel most heard by you when you.
I feel most heard by you. That's a good question. When do I feel most heard by you? When you can say it back to me in a way that I'm like, oh, okay, you were like listening.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have an example of that, but like that's when I feel heard. Like when your response is just like not dismissive or you're trying to like brush me off, like I could tell you really took the time to like reflect in that second or something, and
Right.
then you're like really giving it back in the right way.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, you heard me. Yeah.
I'll say for me on my side, I feel most heard when you actually, I'm from the show me state.
Yeah.
When you actually show me that you're implementing the things that I've asked you for.
Mm-hmm.
And you showing me that you actually learned from the things that we actually talked about. So for example, like even earlier when you were saying that, I had to realize that I had to fill my own cup up, that it wasn't just you that was talking, or I can't just depend on you to fill my cup. I have to start filling my own cup up. And again, now that kind of validates all the frustration and all those trials that we went through when I was trying to help you understand where I was coming from and understand what I was saying. That basically made me feel heard. The fact that now you can say, you know what, quote unquote, you was right.
Yeah.
I've come to realize that I do have to do this for myself, and this is something that I now implement on a day-to-day basis, and it shows. Okay, let's move on to the next one.
Okay.
All right. So, what's something I say that always makes you feel seen, even if we're not getting along?
Something you say?
Mm-hmm.
That's a hard question. Something you say. I don't know if it's anything you specifically say, but you're gonna always make a joke. You're always gonna crack a joke. So yeah, I that's a hard question. I don't think I have the answer to that. I don't think if there's like this one thing that you say and if we're not getting along.
Well, let's focus this way, because I know for kind of, you say you words of affirmation, right? You always say you words of affirmation, but I think you've come to see that action speaks louder than words. So, for example, I'll say what something for me, and then maybe it'll help trigger something for you. So, for example, again, it's nothing you really say; it's something that you do.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It might be a thing that you do. For
example, for me, I feel that when you always make my plate.
Yeah.
Like, no matter if we arguing, we upset, we mad, we're like that, you always make sure that, I'm taking care of, like, all right, you ready to eat. Like, you don't say with an attitude, you know what I'm saying? I may snatch a plate with attitude and say thank you with attitude, but however, you still make my plate. Yeah. And I think that's something that shows me that, or makes me feel seen, but it's through action.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I still like the words though.
Yeah.
I still like the words. They sound good.
Yeah.
But of course you can't just be saying words and you ain't showing no action either.
Right.
Like,
True that.
You really kind of need to do both.
True that.
It's not a kind of. Both need to happen. But it's for me. It's like you always taking my stuff to the car. Like I can just walk out the house. I don't really take the kids, take all the bags. Like, it's a small gesture, but it goes a long way because, you don't have to.
Yeah. Okay, so next question. If we could only give couples one communication tip, what would it be?
One communication tip besides the other three. Work on ask your partner. Right, you find yourself in an argument, or you're not really communicating, understanding. Do the what did you hear me say? Exercise. Ask them. Take yourself out of it for a second, and just ask. what did you hear me say? Because the rebuttals I'm getting back, I don't believe, I perceive that you're not hearing what I'm saying. So what did you hear me say? And allow them to tell you what they heard you say without interruption. And truly listen, not listen from the heightened sense of state that you may be in, but truly listen to what they're saying so y'all can get to the root of what you're really fighting about.
Okay. One communication tip. Self-reflection.
Yeah.
It's more problems and more issues and things that you may be doing wrong than your partner is actually doing wrong. And when you always thinking that, to go back to school, when they say when you point one finger, 4 fingers are pointing back at you, or however they go. In a lot of cases, you got to see, what they always think, well, what can I do better? Or how do I need to develop or be a better person for my partner to be able to be a better person? Stop always putting it on the other person and think about yourself. Do more self-reflection. Like, you have to do that for a relationship to work. Because I feel that a lot of times people, they always looking for the problem without instead of looking with the problem within.
Yeah, self-reflection with change behavior.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think this was a great episode.
Yes, I agree.
So, we're going to go ahead and get this thing ended the right way. So, hopefully you picked up a lot of good information from this episode on communication. Yes. Please give us feedback. Please like, subscribe, share. Let's build this community. Also, drop some things that you would like us to talk about within the podcast. Give us some things to talk about.
We're very open.
Yeah. Now, also, too, I want to tell you that every episode is not going to be us talking. We actually got a lineup of guests that will be coming on and be speaking on some of these subject matters that we'll be covering in the future.
Absolutely.
But I'll tell you this. Until next time, always remember, whether it's in life, whether it's with God, whether it's in business, whether it's in parenting, always keep it respectfully wrong.
Absolutely.
Until next time, have a good one.
Peace.